Hi, future owls. My name is Catherine Kelman. I'm the Director for Housing and Residential Education here at Florida Atlantic University. And we're going to spend the next few minutes talking all about housing and residential education here at Florida Atlantic University. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see all the great slides that we have for you today. So, as you heard in the prior session, all about housing. Here at Florida Atlantic University. So we're going to start first with talking about our actual session and all of what we offer. So first, we're going to talk about our contracts and assignments. So our contracts are for summer 21 and academic fall 21 and 22 opens for first year students on December 1st. The deadline to apply is May 1st, so do not delay. It does fill out quickly, and you'll make sure that you pay. Make sure that you apply after you pay for your tuition deposit. The $100 non-refundable application fee is a processing fee. It does not count as a deposit or a prepayment towards your housing costs. Students who are required to live on campus, if they're attending the Boca Raton campus, are all full-time first-year students from outside of 30-mile radius are required to live in housing. The exemptions are the following: students who are residing with their parent or legal guardian within 30 miles of campus, a student who is at least 21 years of age, a student who may be married, and the deadline, and these are always important, for an exemption is May 1st for both summer and July 1st for the fall semester. Now, for all of our Wilkes Honors College students on our Jupiter campus, first-year students are required to live on campus for the first 2 years. And this includes students who are within the 30-mile radius. So you may ask, what can I request on my contract? What kind of additional requests can I make? So students who may require an ADA accommodation may register with Student Accessibility Services by June 1st for the fall. Additionally, on your contract, you're able to put up 3 different preferences, either for your room type and your building of choice. And we'll spend some time at the latter end of this session to talk about our different room types as well as our buildings. Let me also take a moment that we do have both our associate directors on our chat box today. So if you have any questions throughout our session, please place them in the chat feature and they'll be answering questions throughout our session today. So please make sure you're putting your questions there. And I have a few that we'll cover throughout our tour. So last, you can preference up to 1 roommate or suite mate. And that does take precedent or priority over the room preference. So what does that mean? What is the difference between a roommate and a suite mate? So a roommate is someone in which you share a room with, a bedroom, and your suite mate is someone you share your suite with. And you'll see that here at Florida Atlantic University, we have only suite housing. So unlike at other institutions where you have communal bathrooms of the olden days, we don't have that here. We have state-of-the-art suite style living. So you're in a space with 4 other individuals and you're sharing a restroom with those individuals. A little bit more about our contract. So after you actually have applied, you want to know how we make our assignments. So our assignments are based on the following criteria: the date of the completion of your contract, the enrollment of as a full academic course load, the distance that you are from campus, that you've registered for orientation, and then we look at your room preference and your roommate/suite preference. And once again, those are not always guaranteed. All communications that you'll have from housing will come from your FAU email. So as you begin pretty much onboarding here at the institution, you want to be checking your FAU email frequently, as that'll be the way in which we talk to you and send information about the upcoming semester. All of our residence halls do require a meal plan, and students can select the meal plan of their choice through the housing contract process. So it really is up to you how many meals you would like. We do not have a requirement of how many meals, but there is a large amount at 19, and then we have so many as few as 7 per week. And it just differentiates of how you use. So here at Florida Atlantic University, our housing doesn't ever close, is what we say. Our doors are always open. So during Thanksgiving and spring break, our halls are open. There's no additional cost, and we don't check or make sure that you're in and out. You can kind of come as you please. On winter break, we do close, except that we allow students to stay as long as they're approved for break housing. And we do send out information for our break housing process with our students, and it is free of charge. Break housing is not available during between the summer and fall terms. Students who are starting in the summer should plan to move out at the end of the summer. So that means if you're here for summer 3, you would move in and then you would move out. We get our halls ready for your return for the fall semester, and then you're able to move in. But we really work with our students throughout the summer to talk to them and communicate what that process looks like. So what comes with your room? Because that's the most exciting part. First, you're going to have an extra long twin bed. So that's different than a regular twin bed. It's a little longer. And so those twin sheets that you may have at home aren't going to fit that extra large twin bed. You're going to have a desk and a desk chair and a dresser and then horizontal window blinds. Those come in every room. So those are the things you'll see today in the tours. But remember, you can bring as much as you like for your room to decorate it, make it your own, and deck it out in all the FAU gear you may have. So now we've done our contract, we've gotten our assignment, and now the process continues. And we're going to talk a little bit about safety and security, programming, and resources. So first, we do run a 24-hour staffed desk at each of our residence halls. So there is someone there to answer questions, give out resources, and if you ever get that lockout, to help you with your spare key. So additionally, at nighttime, we have our housing community service officers, which we happily call our CSO patrol and officers. So they are here in the evening. They also sit desks, but they also are field agents. So they walk throughout our campus, especially within our residence halls, and make sure that everything is secure. So if they do see something and observe it, they note it and they contact our FAU PD here, and they will address those situations. As in the student session, they talk a little bit about the night owls. So the night owls do provide ride service in the evening hours to students across campus on awesome golf carts, and they do that even now. So if students are in need and they want to walk from Parliament Hall to Indian River Towers and they don't feel like they want to walk that little bit of road and maybe they might encounter that random duck or iguana, they're happy to take that golf cart ride across to those 2 different halls. The blue light cameras, as stated earlier in the presentation, are next to almost every building that we have here, and they do alert our Florida Atlantic University PD of emergencies, and they do turn on immediately and make very loud sounds, and they are checked and maintained throughout the year. The entrance of our residence halls and elevators do require an OWL card in order to gain access. So you couldn't be just someone to kind of enter our buildings without notification and authorization. So an OWL card here really is important, and it will only allow you into your room, your space, and in your building. So if you are a residential student and you want to visit your friend, you'll still need to check in at the front desk for visitation, but you'll have the ability to have that as an ID so that we know you're also a student. So let's talk about the fun stuff that happens in our residence halls. So we do programming here. We do prescribe to a residential curriculum. That may sound like you're learning and having fun. It exactly is that. So we have 4 pillars. We have strengthen, engage, explore, and develop. So strengthen is our strengthening of our academics. So we understand that learning happens outside the classroom. And so for that, we have academic initiatives where we partner with outside entities at the colleges and schools at the university to do programming, but also have faculty come in and talk about how to get research opportunities, how to get practicum opportunities, how to do research or get grants or any of those things. And so they talk about those, and they also are able to help students understand how to maybe better study for tests or engage in the academic setting. Next is engage within FAU. So we're talking about creating that FAU identity and what it means to be here and engage here. So talking about traditions, but also engaging, going to events maybe by the Center for Ideas or attending our annual Res Fest program that we have here in the residence hall. And then exploring the self. So this is the idea of taking some time to explore yourself and what are the different things that you want to engage in your time at FAU. So that may mean attending a different event, going to Halal or going to our annual Shabbat. It may be working with the Veterans Service Department, any of those different things to really engage and understand oneself and exploring yourself. And then developing a multicultural competency. So understanding that the world is a global stage. And so understanding how to engage with others around difference and embracing our inclusion and social justice driven world. And then last is our resources. So your first time here at FAU, the first people that you're going to encounter is our resident assistants. These are other students who are here to give you advice and help you whenever you need, and they're on each of our floors. We have graduate hall coordinators who are students who are looking to get into the field of higher education. And then we have master's level professional staff hall coordinators who are here to help you as well. So we have a great team who are here to assist you through your time here at FAU. So I just want to touch before we start our actual full tour that we do have academic initiatives within our building. So we have our Get Wise Center, which is an evening hour operation for tutoring. Though our locations are Glaze Park Tower and then our new hall, which hasn't been named yet. So you'll know that when you first come in for this year. The services provided are acquired study area, tutoring services, group study spaces, advising, and career counseling. Then we have our faculty engagement opportunities, which I talked about earlier, where our faculty do come in and engage with our students in a more casual setting. And then we have academic focus initiatives where we do programming, intervention, where we come and we talk with students about maybe midterm grades and helping them understand how to do tutoring or get tutoring or study with a group. And then recognition, when we recognize that some students have really great grades or that they have improved their grades. So we're about to start our actual tour, but these are going to be some of the FAQs that we'll cover during our virtual tour. So this is our housing and residential education website. So when you come to our homepage, you'll see this, and then you're going to click on the three lines, and it's going to give you a drop down. From there, you're going to see take a tour under future students. And so you'll click that, and it'll actually take you to all of our virtual tours for all of our buildings. So what you'll see today is something that you can engage on throughout this time. And if you ever have questions, you can contact us at Housing, and we're happy to answer any questions you may have. So the first tour we're going to have is actually going to be our lobby area of Heritage Park Tower. So when I talk about Heritage Park Tower and Glaze Park Tower, we call those our sister buildings, or our twins. So I'm going to start the tour and talk a little bit about different things that are happening while the tour is going on. So this is the outside of our buildings. As they said, the housing line is where a lot of things happen. Our Glaze Park Tower and Heritage Park Tower actually sit right on our housing line. And so you may happen to see somebody with a dog or a cat. And so we do, when we ask the question of, can I bring my pet? Well, we don't allow pets, but we do allow our service animals and emotional support animals have to be approved through the Office of Student Accessibility Services before they can be brought on campus. And they must be registered with the office and must receive approval by June 1st for the fall semester. So as you can tell, our lounges, our lobbies are huge. They are a hub where students hang out, they engage. We have 4 Winds TVs, which give you events that are happening on campus. Our mail centers are also down in our lobby area, so you can get all of your mail. So that Amazon packages that you're waiting for, or that care package that you just need to make sure that you get because your mom or your dad is calling and saying, hey, did you get that cake that we sent you? That'll come through the mail. Each of our residence halls do have a computer lab that you're able to print and use the computers at your leisure. These areas are open 24 hours a day for students. And if there's issues, our OIT department will happily assist students when needed related to any of their technical concerns or issues. Our lobby also has our front desk. As I said, is a 24-hour operation. So we have a person there 24 hours a day who can answer your questions, but are also making sure that they're surveilling the area of our front doors and making sure people who are entering with intent to come to the desk and be entered as a guest. And if there's any concerns, that they do contact our police department. Within each of the residence halls, there's also what we call our multi-purpose room. And so that's where a lot of hanging out happens, because that's where you'll find most of our pool tables, foosball tables, are just a place to hang out and watch TV or program. And so that is usually our hub in the evening. Our general lobby is the daytime hub, but our multi-purpose spaces are our evening hubs. Each will have a small kitchenette. It is not suited for you to complete all of your meals. So you will still be required to have a meal plan. But if you want to make that spaghetti that your grandma makes every Thanksgiving, then that's the day you can make that spaghetti in the kitchenette that's provided. So we're going to head to where everybody really wants to see, which is the rooms. So I'm going to let this tour kind of give you the kitchenette, and then I'm going to start showing you actual the room. So first, we're going to show you Heritage Park Tower and what we call an L&R room. So that means a group of students on the left and a group of students on the right. Heritage Park Tower does provide one restroom for 4 people, but you have your own bedroom with each other. So when we talked about your roommate versus your suite mate, this is a great example. So I'm going to start the tour so we can talk a little bit about each of the spaces. So, question, are there microwave ovens provided in fridges? So we do not provide microwaves or refrigerators, but students are happy to bring within the required measurements any appliance that they seek. So a microwave or refrigerator, we even approve air fryers on our campus so they can share with their roommates. So before you come onto campus, you will likely want to talk with your roommate about what you all are bringing, so that way you're using your space more effectively. As you can tell, our closets in Heritage Park Tower do not have doors, and we do that so that way you can decorate. For some students, they bring curtain rods and they put up these awesome curtains that kind of show off the different styles or are the theme of their space. And so you want to do that. As you can see, each person gets their own desk and desk chair and dresser. So there's not much sharing other than the space. You'll have your own unit, but you're able to decorate as you seek fit. The beds will rise. This is as high as these particular beds will rise. They can also be lowered. You'll just put in a work order for that. Now, there's some great views of the housing lawn from each of the rooms, or what we call our forest area, Noria. So there's awesome opportunity to see the things that we can see from those great windows. You're given a shower curtain when you first move in. However, if you want to do something different, you're happy to do so. So let's go on to our next building, Parliament Hall. So like the one that we just saw in Heritage Park Tower, Parliament Hall is one of our newest residence halls for first-year students. This is also considered an L&R room, except that the difference here is that for 4 people, you're now only sharing 2 people are sharing a bathroom. So each side of the L&R experience, each group will have their own space. So it looks a little different. So let's start the tour. So how does cable work? So our cable here is awesome and great. You can plug in your TV through the access on the wall, or what we find is the best way to enhance your TV experience is using the most high def opportunity, which is by streaming. By streaming, you get over 300 channels. Now, as you look at the Parliament tour, you'll see that these beds are quite different than Heritage. These beds will go a lot higher. You'll see that on the tour, you'll see ladders and things of that nature. Now, that's because the bed does go higher, so it allows you to have the ladder to climb into the space. So a lot more engaging of having the bed lifted, and you can bring a little bit more furniture in the space if you choose to do so. Now, what happens if you have a vehicle and you want to park because you're in a different part of campus and you went to Chick-fil-A and you want to figure out where you want to park? So students who live on campus may bring their vehicle. However, you're required to register your car with the Parking and Transit. And note that parking here for students is what? Free. So as a residential student, you'll be able to park for free in our green lots. And we'll talk a little bit about that when you first come to the campus. So what are some of the benefits from living on campus? First, super easy commute, just roll out of bed and go to class. Second, building of community. Our RAs and our professional and graduate staff are here to do programming, engage with you, and make sure that you're transitioning to college in the best way possible. So if you're having concerns or you're just not finding your space, they'll help you figure out how to connect maybe with student government, maybe with an office that you're engaged with, or even the Career Center, and talking about how do you start that first, get on your career path. The next question is, do you have a curfew? So you don't have a curfew. You're able to come in as you choose to, and we do not do nightly checks. So that was our 2-person L&R room in Parliament. Our next tour is actually going to be one of our most popular rooms, and that's actually going to be our, what we call an ABCD room, our 4 singles in Parliament Hall. Once again, similar features in the sense that you have 2 bathrooms, but now you're having your own bedroom. So your own space for your own self, but you have 3 other suite mates. So as you see the tour, I think a question that you may have is, how do I find a roommate or a suite mate? Now, you can request a roommate or a suite mate that you know personally, and that's always what we strongly encourage. we do strongly discourage finding roommates or suite mates through different social media platforms. You often don't know these individuals, and sometimes people are different than what they appear. So you want to make sure that you find someone you know personally, or what we do here is that we do a popcorn style, because we know that sometimes whom you are at home may be different when you're on your own at college. So just understand that we will help you through the process of dealing and working with roommates. Roommate requests take priority over the type of preference of room. So you want to take seriously whom you select as a roommate or a suite mate. Please consider this as you think about if a single room is more important than having a roommate. As a reminder, your safety is always encouraged, and don't provide any personal information or share any of that on social media. How are assignments made? We've talked a little bit about that, but we do make them based on our tuition deposit paid that you pay for orientation session and register for classes. And we encourage you to take care of those items in your Owl Done portal after you've been accepted your admissions. So a little awesome fact about Parliament. So Parliament is actually named after a group of owls, as we are the owls. And it happens to note that Parliament is home to a lot of iguanas. So we have like a little lake that's in front of Parliament, and it hangs out, and we have some really large iguanas. So our students often find that part of their first few days here at FAU is making sure they get a picture with one of the iguanas. So if this is an experience, you'll always want to come over to Parliament to get that. So our next building is going to be Indian River Towers. So for any students who may be on our session today who are interested in the Wilkes Honors College, our Indian River Tower tour of a 4-person room is going to be the most similar to this, to that room type in RH1, our Residence Hall 1 in our Wilkes Honors College. Please note that we will be uploading some new virtual tours of current students from both campuses to our social media accounts and our websites in the near future. So please stay current with our website and our social media accounts to get more information on how our students are currently making their room their own for fall 2020. So let's start our tour for Indian River Towers. So the tour at Indian River Towers looks really different than the other 2 tours that we've seen for Heritage, Glades, as well as Parliament. And the big difference here is that you're getting a living room feature. So unlike the other 2 rooms where the foyer or the open hallway is pretty much your only common space, in Indian River Towers, you have a great living room. So you can really make that your own by putting a TV there, an entertainment space, or just where you maybe want to put a small table for you and your roommates to hang out and have maybe Saturday night dinner or Friday night dinner as you're watching your favorite shows. So just note that the room configuration is a little different. Also, that the bathroom in the other 2 tours they showed everything in one space. So the toilet and the shower in one space. In Indian River Tower and in Wilkes Honor College, the toilet is in one space and the shower is in the other. So there isn't a disruption in their day when you have to get ready for class. You're not disrupted. Someone could be in the shower and the other person could be in the restroom. So just keep that in mind. But this is a great place where people want to hang out and have a good time, because your living room, you don't have to be in your room. You can hang out and enjoy without having someone in your personal space. Or if your roommate's studying and they want quiet, they just close that door and you all can just be outside talking about, FAU winning the next football game. So make sure that you're putting your questions up on the chat so that my associate directors are answering them. So another question that we have is, can I have overnight guests? Yes, you may have overnight guests. All our guests must be registered with our front desk. We do have a limit of the number of nights that you may have an overnight guest, but please note, due to COVID, our current guest policy has changed. We allow guests of the opposite sex as well. So that's just important to note. So I'm going to go back just in case we may have gotten people who came late, and I'm going to go back to Heritage so you all can just see that tour as we've gone through all of the tours so far. So once again, this tour is an L&R room, and then this is sharing one bathroom for 4 people. The next question we have is, what are some of the food options here on campus? So we do have a full service dining hall on both our Wilkes Honors College and our Boca campus. That does provide a variety of different options. So things like pizza, hamburgers, sandwiches, and then a hot meal usually is some kind of different fare each day. So, sometimes we get Taco Tuesdays, but we do have a lot of variety, and it's really great. You can always take it out with you. And then on our Boca campus, we do have Chick-fil-A, we have Wendy's, and we have a lot of other different variety of food options. We also have small convenience stores. So if you forget something and you need ramen that night, you can go to what we call Outtakes and go get ramen. And so it's a quick little step away from campus, so not as too far. So the next question is, what happens if I have a question or there's an issue? Who do I go to talk to? You're going to first talk with your RA. There's an RA on every floor, and they're doing programs. They're connecting with our students, and part of our curriculum is to connect with students throughout the year and talk with them and make sure that they're acclimating to campus, even as a second or third or fourth year student. So we just finished our heritage tour once again, and we're going to go right back into Parliament so we can see that Parliament tour one more time before we close up today. Once again, make sure that you're putting your questions up on the chat board so that people can see them. And then the next question is, what happens after I'm a first year student and I want to select my room for the following year? So we do have a room selection process, and we do that typically in the fall, but we will notify students and families of when we're going to do that process, so that way they know when that is, and you'll actually be able to pick your room for the following year. So you'll know a year ahead of time where you're going to live. Now, before we finish up today, I think the most important thing people want to know is, what can I bring? You can bring whatever you want to decorate your space. Now, there's some limitations. We don't allow holes and screws and nuts and things of that nature. But what you can bring is things like painter's tape or commando hooks. But you can put flags up. You can put decorations up. You can put LED battery operated string lights. You can put different curtain accessories up. A lot of our students put up paintings. A lot of students, just depending on how they kind of organize their space, some can put futons or small little chairs in spaces. Some people bring more storage items. It really is up to you how you decorate your space. We just always keep in mind things related to our fire and safety. So as we close up today, I'm going to unshare my screen, and I'm going to close up before we start your next session. And I want to say thank you so very much today for meeting with me and my great team here at Florida Atlantic University for the Department of Housing and Residential Education. If you have any questions, feel free to either email us or give us a call. But we look forward to seeing all of our future owls next year, and look forward to seeing you all on campus. Now it's back to Tim.